D.
Okay. Dave.
Before we start,
Go on.
I think we should set the scene.
Okay.
We've had some comments asking us what we were eating yesterday.
We have.
And that was homemade granola.
It was, and it was very good as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. And
Sultana, cinnamon, and pecan
yeah,
with honey.
we were drinking that with a decaf coffee. And
What have we got today?
today we've got a glass of wine and some Easter chocolate.
Lovely. Perfect.
Okay. Crack on.
Okay. D begins with The Dam Busters. An all-time classic war film in a delicious 5-disc box set.
5 discs for one film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But 3 of them are DVDs, and then it's got 2 Blu-rays with the film in 2 different aspect ratios and a load of extras. And the Dam Busters has got a special place for Penarth Pier because there is a Dam Busters room at Penarth Pier Pavilion.
Yep.
And when we screened it, we had the only living Dam Buster at the screening, which was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a coup.
Yeah. Next up is a DVD that needs to be upgraded, but I haven't found the right upgrade yet, which is Dances with Wolves.
Interesting choice for you.
Why?
Well, you can't be put in a box, can you?
I love the American West. And I remember going to see this at the cinema. What was this? 1991, maybe earlier. 91. And I absolutely loved it. I've seen it quite a few times since. It's great. Then the Darjeeling Limited, another Wes Anderson.
Mm-mm. You said you
Oh
weren't
yeah, I
gonna
wasn't going to open the boxes because they click so loudly. Sorry. The Darjeeling Limited, great Wes Anderson.
Great.
Not my favourite of the Wes Andersons, but it's still bloody great.
What is your favourite of the Wes Andersons?
I think my favourite Wes Anderson is probably Tenenbaums, or it might be Rushmore. I'm not sure. Then another DVD for the people that are upset that we've got DVDs in with Blu-rays. The Dark Crystal, a childhood nightmarish favourite. That hasn't been upgraded because I've got the 4K version, but the 4K version's on, like it's a stream.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not really much point upgrading the DVD because that's got a nice box with a little book in it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then Dark Water, the original Dark Water. So Hideo Nakata, that directed The Ring, also made Dark Water. Have you seen this?
No. No, I haven't seen The Ring either.
Okay, well these have to be rectified. So Dark Water is a woman living in a block of flats with her little daughter, and a big watermark appears in the corner of the bedroom ceiling and gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then her daughter goes missing. And it's creepy.
Mm.
Remade with Jennifer from Labyrinth, who's Jennifer Connelly, and the remake's quite good as well. Not as good as that. Then next up is there's an object of beauty that I bought a couple of months ago, which is the German edition of Das Boot Ultimate Edition, which is 8 discs.
Mm.
So you get the director's cut of the film, the original version of the film, the TV series, which is like extended significantly from the film,
Mm-hmm.
a disc of bonus material, the soundtrack, and then 2 discs of the entire unabridged novel being read, but it's in German, and my German is not good enough to listen to that.
That's a lot.
Yes, das is a lot. Das Boot is a phenomenal piece of work. Love it. Then next to Das Boot, we've got Dawn of the Dead, original Dawn of the Dead, and we've got 3 versions of Dawn of the Dead 3 boxes of Dawn of the Dead, which with many versions within them. So there's my original Ultimate Edition American import, which is 4 discs, I think. Then there's the Arrow version on Blu-ray, and then the Italian version on Blu-ray that's called Zombie rather than Dawn of the Dead. So,
Any reason?
well, the Ultimate Edition was the original one that I bought that's got the 3 different versions of the film in it, but it's only the DVD. Then I upgraded to the Italian Blu-ray because the Arrow Blu-ray was almost impossible to get and was costing a fortune on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the Italian one, which is great. They're all Blu-rays. And then I filled the gap with the Arrow one when they came up on eBay recently, reasonably cheap.
There was a gap.
Yeah, because I always wanted that edition. And coming soon, there's another new version that's all been remastered, and I'm going to have to get that one as well.
This is the one we watched the other day.
Yeah, the Supermarket Dawn of the Dead.
That's great.
It's incredible.
Oh,
I love it, hence having 3 copies of it.
Quite prescient now as well.
Oh, it's very prescient. I do want the Japanese Laserdisc box set of it as well, because it's beautiful. Next to Dawn of the Dead, brilliantly, comes Day of the Dead, which again is the DVD, because I haven't upgraded it yet, but I will do at some point. Not as good as Dawn of the Dead, I don't think. Lots of people love it, but it's not quite as good for me. Then next up is another Terrence Malick. What did we have before? Badlands. So Days of Heaven's the one after Badlands, which we showed at the cinema. Absolutely beautiful.
I thought it was Richard Gere.
Yeah. It's wonderful. Totally beautiful scenery. Amazing. All filmed at the magic hour that Terrence Malick likes to film at, the bit where the sun's about to set. So it takes forever to film because they can do like 30 minutes of filming a day, regardless of what time of day the scene's set at. You film then and it all looks magical. Next is the lovely Criterion edition of one of my favourite films, which is Richard Linklater's Dazed and Confused.
Nice box.
Phenomenal film. Love it. Then Dead Poets Society, which is wonderful too. Dead Ringers, David Cronenberg's Dead Ringers, which we were talking about the other day.
Were we?
Yeah, we were going to watch it with Jeremy Irons and Jeremy Irons playing twins.
Oh, that, yes. The scene.
Gynecological surgeon twins.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's, you've got to be in the right mood for that.
Hideous, sinister. Next to that is Luchino Visconti's Death in Venice, with who is it? Dirk Bogarde. In Italy.
Oh, with the boy.
Yeah, with the boy. Next to that is another big fat box set of The Deer Hunter. That's the special one that came out recently. So it's the 4K remaster, and it's got the soundtrack and a big book of like a making of and all kinds of stuff in there. That's lovely. Then we've got Squeal Like a Pig, Deliverance.
Ugh.
Fantastic.
It's not a rewatch, is it?
Yeah, so many a time I've seen that. Scorsese's The Departed, which I've only ever seen once, but I liked it. Hence it's in this section. I'm going to go back and watch it at some point. Although before watching that, I need to watch Is it called Infernal Affairs? It is, yeah. Infernal Affairs 2 and Infernal Affairs 3, the Hong Kong trilogy that this is based on the first one of. So it's the Infernal Affairs trilogy is said to be the Hong Kong equivalent of the Godfather trilogy. So it's like a first film, then the second one's like a prequel with the same characters, and the third one's a sequel, I think. Next up, maybe you'll find this one surprising too. Desperately Seeking Susan. Fantastic film.
Classic.
Madonna at her best. And then next to that is another of my favourites, which is on DVD because you can't get a Blu-ray of it, and it doesn't look like there's ever going to be a Blu-ray of it, which is The Devils. So that's Ken Russell's film with Oliver Reed about a load of possessed nuns in a French nunnery. It's quite incredible. I saw it on Channel 4 when it was shown as part of like a band season about 25 years ago, and I've been obsessed with it ever since. But there's not likely to be a Blu-ray. Warner Brothers are refusing to release the full version of it.
It's a strong look from Oliver Reed, isn't it?
It's a go-to look. Next is Die Hard. Can't beat a bit of Die Hard. Recently upgraded to the 4K version, and next to that is the Die Hard box set. So Die Hard 1, Die Hard 2, Die Hard with a Vengeance, and then the other ones that shan't be named. Dirty Dancing.
What?
A film that I put off watching for about 30 years because I thought it was going to be the worst thing I'd ever seen. Loved it. But that's the first time I watched it was in a room full of people at the cinema. That was the first time I saw it all the way through as a film. I'd seen and heard probably all of it in chunks on school trips on the bus where the girls got hold of the video recorder and put Dirty Dancing on. I knew all the bits in it, I think, but yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
It's great.
It's fun. Django Unchained. A good Tarantino. I haven't been back to that though. I need to watch it again.
Is it based on something Italian?
No, it's well, Django. There are Django spaghetti westerns, but it's not based on that. Good. Next to that, Doctor Strangelove. Lovely Criterion version of Doctor Strangelove. A good Kubrick. Then there is Kevin Smith's Dogma, which I think is my favourite of the Kevin Smith films. And unlike Clerks that I'd do away with, I wouldn't do away with Dogma. I love Dogma. I like films where it's like... I like films with angels in.
Yes.
But real angels.
One of my questions to you would be, not today's question, but how many films do you think have you got with the word devil in it?
I don't know.
That's a spreadsheet in the making, isn't it?
Yeah. The evil is a thing I like in a film. In many forms.
And in a wife.
In a wife. Next up is Donnie Darko. Another of my very favourites. And that's a lovely Arrow special edition of the director's cut, the theatrical cut, a load of extras. If you're going to have Donnie Darko, you've got to have a beautiful Donnie Darko, haven't you?
Why is it 3?
Because there's 2 versions of the film and then a thing of extras. I think there's a book. Big making of book. It's lovely, isn't it?
It's nice.
So Donnie Darko I don't think it even got a cinema release here when it first came out. Or it might have been very restricted. It's one of the first films. This and Napoleon Dynamite are, I think, the first 2 films where I'd heard about them on the internet and I imported them from America, bought DVDs of them so I could watch something that wasn't out. And I fell in love with Donnie Darko immediately. And I've seen it umpteen times. Love it. Next, 2 copies of Don't Look Now. Another favourite. These has got lots of my favourites in. So there's the Criterion edition of Don't Look Now, which was the best version you could get, the American one, until Studio Canal released the 4K remaster of it. So 4K remaster's got the best picture, but the Criterion one's got the best extras. Hence they're both being kept. Next to that is another double, which is 2 copies of Do the Right Thing. For a very annoying technical reason. So I bought the British copy of Do the Right Thing. And have you seen Do the Right Thing? I can't remember if you have.
Yeah.
If you see it, so Do the Right Thing is filmed on is meant to take place on a hot summer's day with tensions bubbling because it's so hot. And it was the colour of the film is quite distinctively like orange, as though it's sun-baked.
Yeah.
And I bought the British DVD, the British Blu-ray, and they've remastered it and forgotten to do the colour timing so it looks orange. So it just looks like it's filmed on New York streets on a kind of overcast day. It doesn't work. So I've then bought the German Steelbook version, because at the time that I bought this was the only version you could get that was the right colour. And now Criterion have released it in a box like those Donnie, like a big fat box with a massive making of book that Spike Lee's put together. That's beautiful. So at some point those will get replaced by that. And then we've got The Double Life of Veronique. Krzysztof Kieślowski's The Double Life of Veronique. Have you seen this?
No.
Okay, so he's the director of the Three Colours trilogy.
Okay.
And Decalogue and all that stuff. So this is a woman who she lives in France, and she goes on holiday somewhere and sees out of the window of the coach a girl who looks exactly like her, and it is her double.
Intriguing.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's art house. Kieślowski is art house, but it's really good. Very interesting. And then next is an all-time classic in the form of Billy Wilder's Double Indemnity. One of the great noirs. We screened this. It went down really well. We need to do some more noirs really once we're open again. But that's just fantastic. And then last in the D's is Drive, which I can remember going to see, when was this? 2011. And walking out of the cinema absolutely amazed that somebody had made such a good film, because I hadn't seen anything good for quite a long time. Amazing soundtrack. Great Ryan Gosling performance. It's just LA cool, isn't it? Neon cool. And it holds up. It's a good thriller as well.
And it brought back the bomber jacket.
Yeah. The kind of the embroidered silver scorpion jacket.
Yeah.
So that's D. Lots of wonderful, beautiful things in that one. D's got some of my favourites in.
Okay, so if you had to pick 3 for the desert island.
The Devils has to go to the desert island, although it's missing the scenes that we need to have in it, but it's better than not having it. I think I'll have to take Dawn of the Dead.
It's been a kind of instruction manual, hasn't it?
Yeah, recently, yeah. And I'm going to take Don't Look Now. I think I'm taking Don't Look Now. Even though I'd like to take Double Indemnity and Do the Right Thing, but I'm going to take Don't Look Now. Because I absolutely love it.
Here's a bonus question.
Go on.
Which film in this collection do you think has the best soundtrack?
What kind of soundtrack? Do you mean score or soundtrack?
Are they different?
Pedantic. Do you mean like classically composed, like composed for the film, or music that's in it? Pulp Fiction's got a soundtrack. Star Wars has a score.
Right.
Which do you mean?
The first one.
The score. Best composed music
No,
for...
soundtrack.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Best soundtrack. Jeez.
What do you think about it? And you can
Tell you tomorrow.
tell me tomorrow.
Okay.
It's a big question.
I think it probably is something like Pulp Fiction or Reservoir Dogs, because they've just got such good music. And Kill Bill's got a great soundtrack. Tarantino's very good at soundtracks. Okay, I'll have a think about that one. You need to think about that as well. I want to know yours.
Oh, okay.
So we've got another 3 for our Desert Island disc. And I realised that there are more E's than I thought there were, so we can do a whole one on E, especially seeing as it's got some very critical very crucial films in it.
I think I know mine already.
Soundtrack?
Mm.
Go on.
Blue Crush.
We haven't got a Blu-ray or DVD of Blue Crush.
But I've got the memory.
Yeah, Blue Crush's got some good music in it. And it made it into the quiz. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Tea's done.
That's okay, thanks. And the dogs were quiet, that's good. Bye everybody, bye.